Breaking. The United States Supreme Court just ruled on what? Now let's get to it. Hey everyone, welcome to the mix. Like this video, share this video. Thank you guys for tuning in, those domestically and internationally. For those who are new to my channel, I pretty much pre-record most of my videos. I typically go live on a weekend, so head on over to the live section and check out some of my content. If you guys are interested in donating, hit that cash app. Yes, right here. Further donation information is in the description section of this post. I need for everyone to listen to this video. Yes, listen to it from beginning to end. I won't keep you guys long. Head on over to the community section. I always have posts going on, so go ahead and chime in and participate in some of the polls if you choose to. Thank you very much in advance, you guys. Now let me jump right into the topic.
Learning the Supreme Court is letting Idaho enforce its ban on gender-affirming care for kids, a law that could potentially put doctors behind bars if they give a child under the age of 18 hormones or puberty blockers or any other.
Hey everyone, again, welcome to my channel. The mix today is Legal Tuesdays. For those who do not know and who are new to my channel and those who are not new, go ahead and smash that subscription button. Smash it. Yes, thank you guys in advance again for your continued support. But today is Legal Tuesday. I will be posting Legal Tuesday content. Some of the content may be old, which are reposts, and some content may be new. This is actually new. So as you can see what this video is going to be about, yes, the United States Supreme Court gender decision. Yes, there is a gender decision. I have to be very careful. I don't understand why the sensitivity surrounding this topic, which is in the news, which is legal content related. You know, you can find it in law books, you can find it in electronic law websites. So it's just really strange and weird how these algorithms and who controls the algorithms, who controls the AIs, who controls the coding, how they write up stuff and make these make it as these certain topics as quote unquote sensitive, so it's really weird to me. So I'm going to be using initials when I'm bringing forth my commentary on this and my reaction and reading some excerpts of this article, which I'm going to share with you guys. So let me go ahead and jump right into the excerpts of this article, and then I'll come back with more of my commentary, reaction, and opinion. Again, this is Legal Tuesday, so head over to the community section, check out some of my legal content posted. Okay, everyone, I will be citing apnews.com, but before I jump into some excerpts of this article, I just want to put this out there for my audience supporters, regardless of who you are subscribed to in terms of content wise, or where you get your media information, whether it be television, whether it be your iPad, your iPhone, your tablet, your computer, your desktop, wherever you're getting your information from, television, whether streamed, non-streamed, traditional media, news channels, non-traditional content creators, bloggers, vloggers, just be very mindful that these write-ups are from quote unquote, some are degree journalists and some are not. But regardless of that, you guys, research stuff for yourselves, because people do their own write-up. They have their own commentary and opinion, and you never know who's quote unquote allegedly funding certain people for their commentary or their write-up to be probably somewhat biased so to speak, or leaning towards another direction or the opposite direction, leaning towards who your favorite political person is or not, or group is or not, so or an agenda. So hopefully this is making sense to you guys, and for those who know, so, but I encourage and implore you all to just conduct your own research. It's out there, information is out there, and read articles in its entirety, because for me here on my channel, I just go over excerpts. I just post clips. Sometimes the clips are edited, for the most part 99.99999. So I encourage you all to go over to or Google that person's name and see the full clip, or go to the article and read it in its entirety. So according to apnews.com, Supreme Court allows Idaho to enforce its ban on G-affirming care for T-youth. Okay, the Supreme Court has allowed Idaho to enforce its ban on G-affirming care for T-youth, while lawsuits over the law proceed, reversing lower courts. So the United States Supreme Court is reversing the lower court's actions. The Justice Order Monday allows the state to put in place a 2023 law that subjects physicians to up to 10 years in prison if they provide hormones, P blockers, or G-affirming care to people under age 18. Under the court's order, the TG teens who sued to challenge the law still will be able to obtain care. That's interesting. I'm interjecting here. So I guess the two teens who was probably already in the process, or maybe, I'm assuming in the process, they're allowing them to continue it. But ultimately, this law that was in place by Idaho will be exclusive and go into effect because of the Supreme Court supporting the law, those under the age of 18 can't get this type of care. And if there is any physician who subscribes to that, can face prison time. Interesting. Okay. 3 liberal justices would have kept the law on hold. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wrote that it would have been better to let the case proceed unfettered by our intervention. Justice Neil Gorsuch of the conservative majority wrote that it is a welcome development that the court is reining in an overly broad lower court order. A federal judge in Idaho had blocked the law in its entirety after determining that it was necessary to do so to protect the teens, who are identified under P in court papers. Lawyers for the teens wrote in court papers that the teens' GENDR has been dramatically alleviated as a result of P blockers and estrogen therapy. Also, the teens that those 2 teens were already in the process and have already been receiving a lot of medication to alter their GENDR. Wow. Okay. The American Civil Liberties Union, representing the teens and their families, called the Supreme Court's order an awful result for TG's youth and their families across the state. Today's ruling allows the state to shut down the care that thousands of families rely on while sowing further confusion and disruption. Idaho Attorney General Raul Labrador said in a statement that the law ensures children are not subjected to these life-altering DRUGs and procedures. Those suffering from GENDR dysphoria deserve love, support, and medical care rooted in biological reality. Denying the basic truth that boys and girls are biologically different hurts our kids. Okay, let me interject right here. I agree with that. This is just simply my opinion. We can agree to disagree, guys. I don't know anything about the mental part of it, where I'm assuming. I'm not for sure about the mental aspect that drives the physical aspects, because that's what I'm thinking maybe it's from. Because in order, and this is just strictly my opinion, I'm just thinking, I'm just on the outside looking in, like, in order for someone to feel a certain way, it has to come from your thoughts. So in order for me to feel like, hey, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, like, hey, I'm a clock and I actually want to become a clock, or hey, I'm feeling that I'm this or that, that drives other actions, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, the article further cites G-AFFIRMING care for youth is supported by every major medical organization, including the American Medical Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the American Psychiatric Association. Wow. Well, I'm gonna say this much, you guys, and this is me interjecting. Science is science, but at the same time, when it comes to these procedures, scientific procedures or medical procedures, that's in these procedures, and just say if a person is ill, and I'm just just speaking in general, you're prescribed medication. There's people that get paid off of that. Big money. So follow the money trail. Of course, these people are going to be win, I guess, for them. And this is just me speaking, in my opinion, because medical wise, this money costs money to have procedures, and then the drugs as well. So I don't know, but let me continue. Medical professionals define G dysphoria as psychological distress experienced by those who GNDR expression does not match their GNDR identity. So they're saying their mental expression of it doesn't match their physical. Okay. The action comes as the justice also may soon consider whether to take up bans in Kentucky and Texas that an appeals court allowed to be enforced in the midst of legal fights. Wow. At least 23 states have enacted laws restricting or banning GENDR affirming medical care for T minors, and most of those states face lawsuits. A federal judge struck down Arkansas's ban as unconstitutional. Montana's ban also is temporarily on hold. The states that have enacted laws restricting or banning GENDR affirming medical care for T minors are Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. So these are the states that have laws restricting or banning GENDR affirming medical care. Wow. Okay, you guys, I came across this article which speaks to, in my opinion, it kind of summarized everything. So, this is the Supreme Court of the United States blog. That's why it's called SCOTUS. Not sure who's the owner of this, but court allows Idaho to generally enforce ban on G Transition Care for Minors, and this was posted on the 15th of April. But let me go ahead and scroll down because this is the meat of it. I'm about to share with you guys, the meat of this, which pretty much summarize what took place in this entire situation. Okay, so this is what happened. This is Idaho. Keep in mind, everyone, keep this in mind. This is Idaho. It started with Idaho in this situation. In this case situation, two TG girls, along with their parents, who received estrogen therapy, went to the federal court last May to challenge the law before the law could go into effect, meaning they went to the higher courts in May of 2023. So before the higher courts, before the law could go into effect, the United States District Judge J. Lynn Windmill temporarily blocked the state from enforcing any part of the law against anyone while the litigation continued, because there's so many cases in the lower court that's being litigated. So that particular judge, U.S. District Judge in the state of Idaho, was like, you know what, state, the law you guys enacted and you guys are trying to put it into effect January 1st of 2024, I'm going to go ahead and temporarily block all of the law because this is being litigated, so many cases in the lower court. So article further cites, after the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit rejected the state's request to put the law on hold while it appealed. So the state came back like, Judge, come on, just put it on hold. Don't block it. Put it on hold while we appeal it. The state came to the Supreme Court on February 16th of this year, meaning United States Supreme Court, asking the justices to narrow Windmill's order so that it can be enforced, the law, for everyone except the named challengers. So basically that's what it is, you guys. So the state was like, you know what, U.S. District Court, since you want to put it on hold, you want to block the entire law because of the litigations in the lower court with many cases, probably thousands of cases. I'm just hypothetically thinking maybe that is what it is. It's probably several or a lot of cases in the lower court. My thing is, I'm thinking, you guys, and this is the mix interjecting, the state reacted this way, pushing it to the Supreme Court, asking for them to give their take on it, because just think, if it's more new cases, the entire state order is blocked. So what the state, in my opinion, is trying to do, or was trying to do, and they've been successful at it because the Supreme Court sided with them in parts, is to prevent this from happening to any other kids under the age 18 in terms of the hormone blockers, the transition medication, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. So that's what the state intent was, in my opinion, to protect future this happening to any future kids, because they feel that it's not right, that kids shouldn't be subjected to this type of medication to alter who they are. So okay, so the article further cites, represented by Idaho Solicitor General Alan Hurst, and among others by lawyers from the Conservative Christian Legal Group Alliance Defending Freedom, the state told the justices that as long as the law remains on hold, the state's vulnerable children are exposed to risky and dangerous medical procedures, and Idaho's sovereign power to enforce its democratically enacted law is infringed. Oh my gosh, okay. Your girl, the mix on top of this. I didn't even read this. This is my first time reading this, you guys. So the district court's order blocking the state from enforcing the law in its entirety. See, this is what I was just saying. The state contended goes far beyond any relief the plaintiffs needed or had standing to seek. The challengers, the state continued, both want access to a single procedure, age therapy, but the injunction applies to all 20 plus procedures that the law regulates, and it bars enforcement against people who are not part of the law. Okay, you guys. Okay. You know what, you guys? I was going to open a comment section on this, but I'm not. So by the time you hear this, you don't have to drop a comment. I'm not going to open a comment section on this because this is a touchy topic. But as you guys can see, that second article, the excerpts of that article, and that's the Supreme Court of the United States blog. So head on over there and read it, the entire article in its entirety. To me, that was the better write-up, but it honed in on and it summarized everything, because I was trying to just do a full timeline in my mind. How did this all begin? I'm one of those that I have to go right to the source. You can't be choppy with me. I don't like really choppiness. So let me go back. I try to be as thorough as possible in my thought process. So as you can see, when I interjected and I was like, so the state was like, you blocked the entire law. Don't do that. The district court doing that in Idaho, anyone else comes up new, they'll be able to do ABCD from a transition perspective, medically, medication wise, and the law And the lawmakers in Idaho, they don't like it. They don't want that for those under 18. They're saying if you're over 18, fine. If you're under 18, no. So the state lawmakers in Idaho is like, no, no, no. Let's push this up to the Supreme Court, since just Judge Windmill is blocked the entire law. No, let's push this up to the Supreme Court and let the Supreme Court, United States Supreme Court, decide. And their request was to, the state lawmakers' request to the United States Supreme Court is let it continue with the two plaintiffs, since they're already in the process, since they took the medication and is removing their hormones. Let them continue, but block it for everyone else, period. Whether it's in the process and whether it's new cases to come, block it for everyone else. Excuse me, enact the law for everyone else. So I get it. Girl, the mix be on it. I told y'all I took them. I had to read a lot of the stuff, and sometimes you have to reread things. And I took legal classes too. So it's an interesting topic, and it's ongoing. As you heard in the first excerpt I read about the different states. There's a lot of states, I think it's like 23, 24, that have implemented a state law banning the T transformations in terms of medically for those under the age of 18. And those are the states. I think it was 23, 24. You can head back on over to that article. That was apnews.com to read it in its entirety yourself. And again, I encourage that for anyone, read articles in its entirety about you guys. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in to the mix. Again, this is Legal Tuesday. I will be posting some content in the community section, so you can drop comments over there, on different topics, variety of topics. But the United States Supreme Court gender decision, yes, they issued the decision for Idaho, and it is what it is. So the law enacted in 2023 goes into effect because of the United States Supreme Court. So wow, interesting. There's a lot going on in this country. It's a lot going on. It's also, too, in my opinion, let me just touch on this. I think it's a bit of a hypocrisy when it comes to medical related topics like this and many others, because you have, and I'm just putting this out there, you have some on, like when it was the CV era, oh, protect everyone, get the JAB, get the jab, but you have those that say, hey, my body, my choice. Everything is just so hypocritical when it comes, in a sense, here, and so double talk and so polarized mental thought process when it comes to this country and people's views on certain things. And I did come across an article relating to this topic, the GNDR topic, basically saying that the government should not be making decisions over medical decisions. But like I just said, on the other flip side, you have the government was making medical decisions for people to take the JAB. So what is it? What is it? What is it, y'all? Thank you guys for tuning in to the mix. This is Legal Tuesday. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.